Hi everyone, this is Nathan.
And this is Heather.
And we're here with something very special that I was lucky to get on launch day. The Super Nintendo Entertainment System Classic Edition. The much sought after item that came after last year's NES Mini. And I'm very happy to say that this time I did not have to order it online. Well, what's funny is after the unpleasantness with last year's NES Mini, which I did get at launch, but only because I stayed up till like 2 a.m. re-clicking GameStop, Target, I had three different websites up until I finally got one, and even then it still took a lot of refreshing and getting through their constantly crashing cart system. This year, Nintendo got a little bit smarter and decided to release as many SNES Minis on the first day at launch as they did for the entire run of the NES Mini. Looks like they really found out they enjoyed making money.
Yeah.
So I figured this time, and I kind of heard they were focusing more on brick and mortar, and I found out that every store, besides pre-orders, so people did pre-orders, but in addition to pre-orders, most big brick and mortar stores were getting 18 to 22 units, so I took my chances, and it paid off. So my story is I walked into a Walmart I probably walked in about 12:03, and got into a line, and one of the guys said, well, yeah, they've already come out and told us that that this guy, like 3 people in front of me, or 2 people in front of me, told him he was the last one. So I decided to stay in line, and I was rewarded. It looks like they have about 4 per case, so it looks like they had 1 more case than they were telling people. So me and the person behind me also got SNES Mini. So very happy about that.
He came home very happy that night.
Yes. So let's look at the box. Very nice box. I really enjoy the artwork that they've put on it. I like collecting these kind of all-in-one systems. Not as much to play as I just like having them.
Plus, they're so cute.
Oh, definitely. And I think that Nintendo really, on the NES and on this one, they really went that extra step for box art, for design of the system. And on the front, you've got, and it really reminds me of when I was a kid, and these were brand new, and just how the boxes looked back then. So you got the games. We'll go over that here in a second. The Super NES console. It's super retro blast from the past with the return of the all-time fan favorite Super Nintendo Entertainment System. This mini Super Nintendo Classic Edition system is packed with over 20 pre-installed classic Super Nintendo, pre-installed like they have extra ones, Nintendo system games from the 90s, fully loaded and ready to play using the original style Super Nintendo controllers. And other side, classic controller. So sounds like they're going for the full-size controller, but just on a smaller system. Standard stuff. So on the back, NES Classics. So it also sounds like with the NES Mini, the original, they're bringing that one back. So you've got some examples of the game Super Mario World. Gonna love that. Zelda, Link to the Past, arguably the best one ever made. Yoshi's Island, yeah. Super Mario Kart 2.
I want to play Yoshi.
Or Super Mario Kart, sorry. Star Fox, Kirby's Dream Course, F-Zero, Super Punch-Out, Super Street Fighter Turbo, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, Earthbound, Super Metroid, Final Fantasy 3, Kirby Superstar, so 8 games in one, so that's a collection of the older games, Secrets of Mana,
I like
Mega Man X, Donkey Kong Country, Super Castlevania 4, and of course I went through the Punch-Outs, some screenshots, which is always cool.
I'm excited about Mega Man too. I always like the Mega
Man. Oh,
Man
definitely.
games.
Mega Man X, even people hated Mega Man, loved those. That was a good series. Contra 3, The Alien Wars, Donkey Kong Country, Earthbound. So a lot of these are already listed. Any additional ones? Ooh, Super Mario RPG. Nice. And Super Metroid. So, and oh yes, and the super secret game is the exactly, Star Fox 2, which the ROM has been out there for a while. I'm not really going to focus on any of that though, but this is the first time it's been available on a commercial product.
Cool.
So let's get to opening. So we're going to do this, and then we're going to do some gameplay just to show how the system works. We're not going to do direct capture. We're just going to do kind of a camera. Some other videos, as you've seen, I do have a game DVR. But in this case, I just want to show and discuss. It's just easier that way. Okay, so it's just standard. But it does have the poster.
The other one had a poster too, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
That's cool. Neat.
That's really cool. So what I've heard is that the hardware in this is actually the same hardware as the NES.
Oh, yeah.
So, yes, and I'm purposely holding off the console. Oh, yes.
Oh, nice.
Wow, that is full size.
Oh, yeah, that's the standard. That's a standard size. That's cool.
But the real question is, did they learn from these short controllers?
Yeah, I was going to ask you if because didn't you get an extension?
Yes, an extension and a wireless.
Okay, and will that work on this system?
Yes.
Oh,
well, but I don't think we'll need it.
Gotcha.
Because here's the thing, look at that. So...
Good, yeah, because the other one, that was about as long as the other one was.
So that's coiled up. And here's the NES Mini, just for reference. So it's coiled, yeah. There's at least another 4 to 5 inches. So I'd say it's about 5 inches longer.
Cool.
So wow.
Yeah, because that was the one thing that was a little frustrating on the other one, is that the cord was just way too short.
The controller feels pretty good. I'll let Heather check it out. So
yeah, no, it's nice.
Came with the second.
Ooh, and I like the purple buttons.
And put that.
So there's two. And so the other one only came with one, right?
Yes.
The first one, the first one came with one. So this one actually has 2 controllers, so that's pretty nifty.
Also, it looks like there's a couple extra inches on the. Nice. There's a couple extra inches on the HDMI. See, the problem with the other with the NES Mini was, wow, that was a short HDMI.
It was.
Power cable is really short, and then that was really short. I think they really corrected a lot of mistakes so far.
Yeah.
Playtesting will be the true sign of if they've come far enough. But it looks like they made some, obviously some good updates to this to make it a lot better than it has been.
Yeah, because my biggest things were the cords were too short, and you only got one controller, and we had to buy an extra controller.
Definitely. And also with this one, though, they learned, because people were having a hard time finding official controllers. Even though technically
really?
you could use the Wii controllers. So, here is the system.
Oh, it's so cute. I love tiny things.
It's even slide like the original. Power's on.
That's cool. Oh, it's even getting the eject.
It doesn't
work.
work.
It doesn't work, but it's still there. That's a good touch, though, just to make sure they added it.
And, oh, jeez. Okay.
How does that work?
That's a very good question. And so it's got the HDMI on the back. Yes, this is pretty much the same. We'll pause. We'll be right back. And we're back.
It helps if you read the directions.
Yes, reading the directions, there's a little thing underneath here. And you just pull it up.
And then pull down.
And it's got the same controller. So nice. Okay, so... So just to give you a comparison, here is the NES. As you can see...
It's got the same thickness and width, but it's a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Oh, that way, yeah. Oh,
They're the exact same.
They are the exact same size. It's just one goes one way and one goes the other.
So there we
Very
go.
Cute, though.
Yeah, it has the same.
So and these are super portable. If you have kids, like if you're going on vacation or a trip or something, you want something that your kids can take with them. I think this is so portable.
Definitely.
Or adults that you want, or if you're an adult, you want to take it with you. They're super portable. And there just say there's a little thing on here that says, I think this was true of the other one, if you press the reset while playing the game is saved and the system returns to the home menu. So the reset button will does actually have a purpose.
Exactly. And I think on this one they did put a controller-based reset, because that was another issue. Anyway, so now that we've unboxed, what we're going to do is we're going to hook this baby up, and we're going to play through 1 or 2 multiplayer games using both controllers, get a feel for how far it is from the... how far we can get from the thing, because last time we could not get far at all.
Yeah, I'm anxious to see how long the cords are this time.
And we'll show you a couple of the games and show you if the menu's changed.
Yeah.
So we'll be right back. Hi everyone, and we're back. And let me go ahead and mute this for a second. We've got this all set up, and so far I've got to say, yes, the cables are definitely longer.
It's a much improved.
Yes, if you look, if you go back and watch our video from last year, you tell we had a problem even getting it to reach the, it had to set at the front of the TV, so we had some issues. This time, we've made it to our coffee table, boom, with some room to spare, and the controllers work in such a way that there's no additional space. I mean, there's even slack in the cable, so we could be further back.
Yeah, there's plenty of cable room, so that was a huge improvement on their part.
So let me go ahead and we've turned it on, and this is the setup screen. I'll go ahead and put it back. Again, since this isn't really gameplay footage for the sake of gameplay footage, this is just us kind of giving a review. I put the box in front of it just so you can see it. We'll go ahead and get this baby set up, set it to English. Okay. The Super Nintendo, well, it looks better on the TV, on the camera, but it is not super great. Anyway, this is pretty much the exact same interface that we got on the last one. Settings, just gives you that stuff. Display, as you saw just a second ago. You can set pixel perfect, 4:3, or CRT filter, which gives you scan lines. Let's go ahead and do that one. That sounds kind of cool. Okay, so language, we can choose what language we want. Legal notices just gives us any type of software or copyrights, everything. And then manuals. And as with the Mini, we touched base about this last year. You just use the Q code or the URL at the bottom, and you can download all the manuals. So it looks like, as you saw, we've got pretty standard games here: Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, Donkey Kong Country. It tells us how many players can play on it. Donkey Kong Country, F-Zero, 1 player. Final Fantasy 3, Kirby Superstar, 8 games in 1. Every time I see it. Secret of Mana, Star Fox 2, Electric Boogaloo, Street Fighter 2, and Super Ghouls and Ghosts, Castlevania, Super Mario Kart, Zelda. Okay, pretty straightforward.
Pick something easy.
But we'll do Mario Kart.
Okay.
So we're going to do a quick game of Mario Kart. Two-player game.
That's been forever.
Mario Kart GP. 250cc. Yes. Basic race.
I'm gonna suck. It's been forever.
My dirty little secret is I was a Sega Genesis person.
Wait, why am I not moving?
B.
Oh. Told you it's been a while.
I owned every Nintendo console
This is embarrassing.
at time of release other than the Super Nintendo. I actually did not buy my Super Nintendo
How do I back
until way after the Nintendo 64 had been out.
Okay, I'm gonna have to admit too, I'm not crazy about the lines. It's very like retro, but it makes it a little bit hard to focus.
And just to repeat, I do have the scan line filter on.
Stay on target.
And I've got first place.
And I haven't even finished. Help. Okay. I said pick something
Just
easy.
Tell me.
Wait, I still have one more
I'm
left.
going to go ahead and declare the mercy rule. So I believe select start does reset on this, which is another new feature. Okay, I thought that they had added a multi-button push. I'll look in more into that, and I'm going to go ahead and hit reset. So as you can see, kind of floating behind the box, this has the same save system. When you exit out, it just goes ahead and moves it to a save thing. Which really nice. I'm gonna say that definitely a step up in graphics from the NES, and the selection of games on this system are really cool. Part of me does wish that there was a bit of a more third-party selection, even though there is a decent one. I mean, it's just, for the most part, it seems like it's Capcom, other than Nintendo, but... Oh no!
Do you want to take the lines off and see how it looks?
That's actually, yeah, what I was going to do.
So we can see what the graphics look like.
Okay, so it looks like if you hold down both of the bumpers and press select to start, it will reset the game.
Oh, cool.
So I'm going to go ahead and do Pixel Perfect. Press B, take us back to our game. As you can see, it looks a little bit cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the controls feel very responsive. I gotta say, the quality of the control feels really good too. So, I mean, it's not just that they're responsive. Okay, well, I think we're good here. So holding down both the select and start and the top bumpers, shoulder buttons, so that will reset the game. It won't take you back to the main menu, but it will reset the game. Okay, yeah, so the only way to get back to the main menu is to press
the reset on the actual machine itself.
Exactly. So really, I guess in closing, the only thing I can say is this is more like the NES Mini. So if you already have the NES Classic Mini, there's not a big difference as far as interface, which is a good thing, because, I mean, I felt like it's one of the best interfaces. It's a really good system, so not changing it very much has probably helped. Adding the reset feature, really good. I would say that much like last year's system, if you have the classic controller for the Wii, it has a home button, and that actually will take you back to the home menu. So that's always really good. See, it's going into demo mode, which I think we kind of laughed about because we found out about the just by leaving it. So what do you think as a non-gamer? What's your opinion?
I think it's really cool. It's really cute and retro with the size. You know, the size is small, but it looks exactly like the original. The improvements that they've made with the length of the cord, and the other one only had one controller, didn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, so they've added the extra controller. That was really nice, and they've extended the length of all of the cords, the one that goes into the TV and on the controllers themselves.
This one was a piece of cake to hook up. I was very happy about that. The last one, just because it was so short, it was kind of like, get in there, get in there.
Yeah, so they addressed the issues that they had from the first one. The controller is comfortable. It feels like an old school controller, but it's got really good response to it. So I think they addressed the issues that they had with the first one, and I think it's really fun. And it is it's so cute.
I'm not seeing any of the lag that some people complained about with the Mini. It feels like this one's tighter.
Yeah.
Well, it happened in Punch-Out because, which is very much a timing game. So a lot of people said that it kind of threw the timing of the fights off. So really, I gotta say, this is definitely a thumbs up for $80. You don't get as many games this year, but I feel like all the games you're getting are the really good ones.
And there is that game that had never officially been
released,
right?
Yes,
Star
Star Fox 2, which was never actually, never released commercially. Did come out. Well, it did make the ROMs release, but. So I gotta say, for $80, you get 2 controllers, you get the system, which, from what I understand, is the same hardware that the Mini was running on, which nothing wrong with that. Mm-hmm. The old NES Mini. So more cables. So I've got to say 2 thumbs up.
Yeah,
I mean, I love it.
Awesome.
I've enjoyed it. I can't wait to set this up and spend some time playing some old school games.
Cool.
Okay, well, I hope you guys have enjoyed this review. Sorry if it's not technical enough. Plenty of videos out there. If you actually have any questions that we didn't answer, please feel free to ask. I can either find the answer or point you to, a more technical review. I hope you guys enjoy this. Hope you can find it. As I said at the beginning of the video, they are committed to releasing this one in a much broader with greater numbers. So if you haven't found one yet, you probably will find one.
Oh, and say hi to our cat.
And this year again, the cat has returned to give her blessing to this video.
That's our cat, Jinx. Say hi, Jinxie. Jinx, can you say hi? You look in the camera?
So,
thank you so much for
we hope you,
us.
yes, definitely enjoy this. Keep heart. If you haven't found one yet and you want one, you will get one. I can't guarantee it, but I can say with utmost confidence.
It'll be easier than the other.
Yes, and starting in summer 2018, you should be able to get an NES Mini, as they will start re-releasing those.
Cool.
So for Gamma Penguin, this is Nathan.
This is Heather.
Keep on gaming.
Bye.
Bye.